Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our first official day of Lift to Get Lean. I am so excited to have you all here. I am beyond grateful that you have signed up and invested in the program, and my hope is that you get everything that you want out of this and more. We're going to start today talking about a couple things. So if this is your second or third round, I'm adding to this talk if you've heard it before. So today we're going to talk about getting prepared just a little bit. We're going to talk about how change is a skill. I want you to start something called your owner's manual. So you'll notice in the home equipment suggestions, I said a journal that actually applies to everybody. If you prefer to just like send yourself some emails or take some notes on your phone, that's cool. But I really encourage you to sit down and think about some of these topics that we talk about. So we're going to start today our owner's manual. And then also I'm going to ask you 3 big questions that are going to go into your owner's manual regarding you being ready, willing, and able. And this is just for you to get a baseline for where it is that you're at and to help set some expectations for yourself. So right off the bat, a lot of us are here, I'd say most of us are here to make some changes. And change is hard, but change is a skill. And each skill can be practiced and we can get better at it. So that's another one of my goals. I want to help you get better at changing. What you need to know in order to change is, you need to know yourself. You need to know what it is that you want in order to get to where it is that you want to go. So I also need you to start thinking about, where do you want to go? Who are you? Where do you want to go? And what's it going to take for you to get there? So right off the bat, those are some really big questions. In your owner's manual, start off by talking about some things that you already know about yourself and your body. Like regarding nutrition, perhaps you've got some food allergies. Maybe you've got celiacs. You can't do dairy. You prefer to eat more fat than carbohydrates. All of this is great information, and we're just taking in information. Everything that you learn is information that you can use to make better decisions down the road. Maybe you prefer chicken over beef, or you know that you prefer to eat vegan and plant-based rather than eating, meat-based proteins. Maybe you hate vegetables, and so we're going to have to find a way to work around that because vegetables are kind of important. It's not so much that I personally hate vegetables, but I do hate preparing them. I'm not going to lie to you. What do you know about yourself already? Reminders for your owner's manual. This is your journey. Okay, in the very beginning, like before the program even started, I said, stay in your lane. Some people are coming here that haven't moved in maybe years. So if they start doing what we're going to talk about, they're going to see changes quickly. If you already have a pretty solid fitness and nutrition routine, you're not going to see those big changes right off the bat like somebody who's been sedentary or someone who had a baby 6 months ago, right? So just know that this is your journey, and don't compare what's happening with Barb or Nancy to what's happening with you right here. And we've got 3 men in this group too. These men, you guys know how men are, right? They might see some significant changes right off the bat where it takes us maybe just a little bit longer. That's okay. All we can do is support those people and be happy for them and continue to focus on ourselves. Stay aware and pay attention to what it is that you're learning about yourself, what it is that you want to do. So, you might notice that, as you're trying to schedule in your workouts, you think you're going to be able to do them after work, but then all of a sudden everything happens and you don't make it after work. So you're like, all right, I guess I'm a morning workout person now. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to have to work out in the morning. Again, it's just information. Just start to pay attention. How does it feel when I have oatmeal for breakfast? How does it feel when I have, 2 cocktails and then in the morning try and work out? I really want you to start being aware. We're going to talk about something called noticing and naming, and I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. But really keep your eyes open and start to get in tune with how you're feeling and again, what it is that you want to accomplish with this program. Stay open to the process. Trust me. Trust Leanne. Trust in the program, okay? I need you to know that this works. It does work. All you have to do is what I tell you to do and stay aware. After that, easy breezy. Stay open to the process, check in with the group, engage with the group, and don't write off the easy stuff. So we start small, implementing one tiny change a week, one tiny change a day, depending on where you're at. So while it may sound simple enough to eat vegetables at most of your meals, it's actually hard, and it's actually very important to do. When I start talking about less screen time, getting more sleep, don't brush it off. Like, that's actually very important information. If it were not important, I wouldn't share it with you. So just know that I'm not going to give you any fluff information. Everything I give to you is important. And then finally, have fun. Remember, this is all just an experiment, especially when I start giving you guys macronutrients for those of you that are tracking. Whatever happens with those macronutrients, it's just information. Nothing is set in stone for anyone. So we're going to see what happens when we start implementing some of these changes. Whatever feedback we get, then we're going to make decisions based on that feedback. We do something called outcome-based decision making. So we're never just going to change something just to change it. We're going to implement some things, see what happens, take that research, look at it as an experiment, and then make changes from there. So today, I will type this in the description of the video, but in your owner's manual, a couple questions. What do you already have or do or know that's going to help you in this program? Maybe you love to cook. Maybe you already know about all the benefits of eating lean protein and eating vegetables. Maybe you already have a workout routine. Maybe you already have a meal prep that you follow. Maybe you are really good at scheduling things. So on Sunday, we'll do something called Sunday Reflections, and I'll have you schedule out your week, and you're like, oh, that's easy breezy for me. So those are all really great things that you're already doing, and they're going to help you be successful in the next 7 weeks. And then the second question is, what do you need and want in order to move forward over the next 7 weeks? Maybe you just need a little extra accountability. Maybe you need support. Maybe you need to know what to eat. I know there's a couple of you out there that you honestly don't know what to eat. And that's a fine place to start. That's a great place to start, because to me, you're a blank slate and you're coming to me without, any expectations of what it is that you think you should be doing. If that's you, that's wonderful. And remember to focus on you, stay in your lane, and you're going to get so much out of this. So that's part 1 of writing in your owner's manual. Now, part 2, this is actually my favorite stuff. This is the part of the talk where I'm going to ask you if you are ready, willing, and able. So the next 3 questions, again, I'll put this in the description so you can go back and write about this, journal about it, whatever. How ready right now are you to make some changes? How willing are you to change? And then finally, how able are you to change? And I'm going to dive into these each just a little bit more. Remember, there are no right or wrong answers here. All of this is just information. It's just important for you to know where you're at and where you are starting. So that first one, how ready are you to change? Think about what brought you into this group today. Are you sick of doing what everybody else is doing? Maybe what you have been doing is not working anymore. Or maybe your old routines are working just fine for you. And then on a scale of 1 to 10, I want you to score yourself, with 1 being, no way, I'm not ready to do this. I don't know what I was thinking. And then 10 being, I am totally ready. Bring it on. I want to change. So how ready are you to change your existing nutrition and health habits? Number 2, how willing are you to change? Now think about how open you are right now to changing your mindset, because that's a huge part of it, your habits and your routines. Are you going to be willing to just follow what Leanne and I tell you throughout this process? Or do you hate being told what to do? There's a lot of people out there like that, and that's okay if that's you. But I need you to know that that's you. You're going to feel some resistance pop up. And then score yourself, again, on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being no change. I am digging my heels in. This is not going to happen. And then 10 being change me. I am putting in your hands. Just tell me what to do and I'm going to do it. And then finally, how able are you to change? So sometimes, we really do want to change. We want to change really badly. But something is blocking you. And if that's you, like, what is preventing you from changing right now? Is it a tough work schedule? We all have those times. Is it having a new baby? Is it an unsupportive environment? Like Renee, you said you ended up having to, take care of your elderly parents. Some of you do have a toddler and a small child, a toddler and a baby at home. Things happen and things pop up. It's important to know that those are not excuses. That's just where you are right now in your stage of life. So what we're going to do, we're going to take that stage of life where you are, and we're going to do the best that we can with all of those factors. So, and maybe you've got someone in your house right now that's like totally sabotaging you, or someone at work who is constantly like holding you back. And we'll talk about how to deal with that person. But if someone's in your environment and they're not supporting you, it's really hard to make change. So just be aware of that, and we'll think about how we can work around that. So on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being right now, I just can't change. It's not in the cards for me. I've got too much on my plate. Work is busy, family's busy, and I'm just not in a good spot for it. Or 10 being, I have all the tools and the support I need. How able are you to change? So I noticed, all right, I brought up just a moment ago, resistance, like you not being told what to do. Notice and naming resistance. We're going to talk a lot about noticing and naming because I need you to get to know yourself. I need you to notice how something makes you feel and what you do to that. What are you going to call it? All that means is that we're paying attention to what's happening around us and in our own experience. So as you think about working on changing your habits, see if you can notice and name any resistance that pops up. So if you haven't eaten breakfast, and I am not, you must eat breakfast, but let's say you're having a hard time hitting your protein number, and I suggest you eating breakfast, and you're like, I don't eat breakfast. What is that resistance all about? Like, why don't you eat breakfast? Do you think it's going to, like, this is what I always hear. Well, if I eat breakfast, then I'm just hungrier more all day long. Okay, is that true? So that's something that might pop up as resistance. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. But resistance is going to pop up. Just know that, expect it. We got to push through that resistance. So for example, today, you might set aside some time to go grocery shopping, but then all of a sudden you think, but I'm too busy for that. I just don't have time. I don't have time between when I get off of work and when I got to pick up the kids, and then we got soccer practice tonight. I just don't have any time. Or, so that could be some resistance. I don't have time, or I don't know how to make a healthy meal. What kind of foods am I supposed to buy? Or this is too complicated. It's never going to work. That's resistance as well. So something is pushing back against you making change. So I don't want you to worry about fixing any of that resistance. Know that it's going to happen. Just call it out when it occurs and be aware, or beware. Resistance can be sneaky, and you may not notice when it pops up, or it may pop up in places that are unexpected. So today, what do you got to do? Answer the questions that I have asked you in this video. Again, I will type them up in the description so you can start to get a feel for where it is that you are at. Think about what's one thing today that you can do to just be a little bit better than you were yesterday. I'll be giving you suggestions throughout the week, but how can you be just a little bit better today? What can you do today that's going to set you on your way to where it is that you want to go, wherever that is? Like referring to your owner's manual. Where am I headed? I don't know. Start to notice and name any change resistance that pops up. And we're just going to move forward. In terms of your environment, getting ready, prep week, start to get rid of any foods that are not supportive of your goals. I understand those of you that live with other people. We've got kids. Our kids have to have snacks. I didn't realize how big of a thing it was until school just started up, and I have to have snacks for them to take for afternoon. I've gotten so used to not having goldfish in the house or fruit snacks in the house. Now it's a thing, and so I have to be mindful to not reach for those things. Some of you, your spouses, They're on a whole different plan, and they can have other things in the house that you wish weren't there. How are you going to deal with that? But if you can get rid of it and it's not supportive of your goals, get rid of it. More talk on environment tomorrow, but you guys, let's have an amazing first day. Again, I'll type this stuff in the description so you can get to writing, journaling, inquiring about yourself, and I'll talk to you soon.